I don't know. Buffalo is just riding the wave right now based off emotions, Damar Hamlin. So I think they got this. I don't see it.
We're going to get into that.
Let's jump right in. Hey, what up, Kev? What's going on? It's Tuesday nights. The Hook, Ray Bones. By the way, the Guru, Kev
Right.
Mike.
I appreciate that.
The Guru, Kev Mike. He's no longer Kev Mike. He is the Guru, and I will refer to you. Actually, I meant to tell you, Kev, before we jumped on, I wanted you to change your name to the Guru. So we're going to retire that tonight. We're not going to start over, but moving forward, you got to switch that up. You go okay with that?
I'm cool with that.
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's a lot of stuff going on in sports right now.
You want to dive in a little bit?
Yeah, we got the championship, the WBC championship. I got that on in the background. We got March Madness being March Madness. We got free agency that kind of came and went.
Looking forward to that.
We're waiting for that next wave. We got Lamar Jackson. We got Aaron Rodgers. That whole saga. Some good stuff going on.
Yeah, no, sounds like we're going to dive right in. Obviously, you mentioned WBC. Real quick, it is the what do we got here? Top of 4, trailing 2-1.
Yep.
Japan's the home team.
Yeah.
They're undefeated, right? So that makes sense.
Right.
So, hey, let's see. We were talking before we jumped on, though, Kev, about the WBC. And the crazy thing about it is this is probably going to be the most watched baseball game in the history of baseball.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they're projecting like 90 million people to watch this game. We'll find out the stat tomorrow. I don't even know if they've talked about it tonight.
No doubt.
But, reading, I did see the most watched baseball game, 1980 World Series, 54.5 million. So it's like, holy crap, this game has a lot of magnitude to it.
Right.
Yep. And I see you're excited about it, Kev. So let's move forward, man.
I mean, listen, people, the hardcore baseball fans, Schmitty, Scott Fryer, like they've been tuned. Chris, these guys have been in on this. I love the game of baseball. I started to get into this maybe, the semifinals matches just because I kind of thought it was setting up to be USA Japan. I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll see if this goes out of play, and it does. 1 out, top of the 4th, 2-1 Japan. I think this is cool, but my opinion, I'm focused on the season as a Yankee fan a lot more, but this is kind of cool. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely neat. It's cool to see like Ohtani, like the Ohtani Trout matchup.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He has to listen. We talked about this before we started.
Yep.
I really hope that when he's a free agent, and that's rapidly approaching, that he goes to Boston, New York, one of these teams that like not. I mean, Anaheim they don't matter. We need it. We need him to go to a team that matters and play in meaningful games. I do think that's hurt his. They're trying every which way to push his stardom, and rightfully so. Yeah, but he's got to do it. He's got to do it on the big stage, and so this is what's kind of cool for him.
Yeah,
for people to see him. Right.
Yeah, no, showcase. I mean, imagine if he was in New York, how many viewers around the world would watch a New York Yankee baseball game?
Right. And that's where the history of Japan and New York and the Matsuis of the world and that's where I think that helps. But I mean, if he went to Boston, I think it would be equally.
Sure.
I think
major market, right? I mean, he could stay in LA, play for the Dodgers. It's just that he plays for a crap team that has nobody. Right. They're not doing anything to make himself better. Send him out, let him, and he's going to get paid.
Oh, dude, what do you think it's going to be? Seriously,
I honestly, I don't even know. Well, where are we at? Are we touching $1 billion yet?
What is the highest contract in baseball?
He's worth $500 million. That's what.
You know what? We may be heading down that road.
$500 million, and how many years is that? That's like insane to me.
And I worry about
some Patrick Mahomes stuff right here.
That is, but I worry about that arm. He already had Tommy John, right? But I think it'd be amazing to see him in New York just based on that left-handed swing. Yeah. I mean, the home runs he would hit at Yankee Stadium would be epic. So,
Yeah, it's going to be No, it's cool. And you know, while we're on the World Baseball Classics, I know we really want to dive into some March Madness and some football, you know, some of the stuff going on in football, Lamar Jackson and such. But hey, the kid from Madazaka, whatever his name is, Yoshida, the ball,
Yeah, the 21-year-old.
The outfielder coming. No, the 30-year-old, or the 30-year-old playing in Boston.
Right.
The outfielder. He's ripping it up.
Yeah.
He's tearing it up in the WBC. I don't know how it's going to translate to, you know, the major leagues, but it'll be interesting to see. So hey, there's a glimmer of hope for all of us Red Sox fans out there that we got a guy in the WBC breaking.
You got to get pitching, but yes, he's
I
think he's a good player from everything I've read up on and anything that I saw. But again, we got to see how he translates. I think he'll be good. You know, Japan has a pitcher that everybody's raving about. He's 21 years old, throws 102.
Wow.
You know, I can't pronounce his name. I have no hope in that regard. And but he's supposed to be the next thing. You know, look, it's no shock that Japan has good baseball players, and the best ones, you know, they seem to come over. I think it's kind of cool. But you know, a 21-year-old pitcher that throws that kind of gas, that has those kind of pitches, that's something. That's something. So
yeah, Roki Sasaki.
Okay.
Roki Sasaki. Yeah. Hey. It's good to see. And Smitty mentioned last week the kid from the what team was he from? Oh man, maybe it was Nicaragua. But he came in, he struck out those 3 batters from the Dominican, 1, 2, 3, Acuna. Who else? I forgot the other 2, but
right.
Either way, moving on. March Madness.
Crazy.
Which has been, honestly, Kev, are you in any pools?
No. This is the first year I haven't. I've given advice.
Yeah.
And you know, but and my 3 out of my 4 Final Four teams are still intact, which I like.
Yeah.
But you know, I just, you know, and I'm kind of surprised at the way Duke lost. You know? They couldn't shoot the ball. That's so inconsistent. You know, that's so, you know, not what Duke has been throughout their history. They're huge, but that Tennessee defense was stifling, and it's not like Tennessee shoots the ball great either. But you know, a lot of upsets. You know, we saw Purdue go down.
Crazy.
Being shocked is not what I would call it. I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
You know, with that big
for
74 kid, Edey, you know, I thought they would just feed him, and he would just, and they put shooters around him, and they didn't really shoot the ball well. And, you know, you tip your cap to, you know, the team they played and how they're moving on. And dude, this is why it's March Madness. And oh, that's gone.
That one is deep. It's out of here. Home run Japan. Oh, Akamoto with the solo blast. Oh man, listen, he got a hold of that one too.
Yeah, that was a bomb.
I mean, who did we start today? We started Merrill Kelly from Arizona in a championship game of the WBC. What the hell's going on?
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean? Like, that's our guy.
Yeah. Well,
whatever. The Bruins are up 2-1. I got to get on here is Justin Wickham. Justin Wickham, he pays attention to the page. If you're listening, you want to talk some hockey, bro, you got to you got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. We got to throw a little hockey in here. I need some. Kev, you know hockey, don't you?
I love hockey, bro. The Bruins.
Oh, you're the guru. That's right.
Yeah, dude. Listen. The Bruins are legit. I mean, they're 4 lines.
Oh, sorry, Rebel. By the way, what up, Rebel?
Yeah, man. But the Bruins are good. I mean, I'm a big Bruin fan, but I gotta say, like, I'm always like the most pessimistic fan, reverse psychology, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you are.
You know, the Bruins are good. They're deep. They have pick a goalie. Like, their goalies have been great. You know, getting Orlov from Washington and Hathaway has been big. Depth. Yep. I mean, if you really got into it, you'd enjoy the sport. The Rangers are good. You know. You know, so, we talked about, you know, we went through it last week.
Yeah.
With Schmitty, but the Bruins are good, dude. Real good.
Yeah, no, good. Hey, Boston sports dominating for years, decades actually. So
they got a shot, but again, hockey is different. This isn't basketball.
Oh yeah,
hockey's different, man. And you know, you could, you know, a goaltender gets hot, in the and 7-game series, you could be in trouble.
Yeah.
I just, again, if anybody that's just a casual fan, watch David Pastrnak. He is awesome. They just signed him to an 8-year extension. He's the Bruins' best player. He is awesome.
Where's he on the ice?
He's got like 50 goals already, 50 plus goals.
You know what position he plays? Is he a wing?
He's a wing. He's a right wing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's who scores all the goals, right? The wings.
And Marchand you would love him. I mean, he's just a past, really good player too.
Yeah.
Tiny, 5'9", real pest. This core with Bergeron and Marchand and Pasta, I'm gonna be sad to see them go in the next few years, but they've given us a lot of good hockey over the last several years. So hockey, man, the playoffs, that'll be fun. Yeah, I'd love someone to hit us up, talk hockey. I love it.
Yeah, no, you're crushing it already. I love it. Angie Peck, her son plays. He plays youth hockey. Her husband used to play hockey, so they're a big hockey family. So shout out to the Pecks.
Neil's breaking my stones. Neil's trying to wonder why I like.
Well,
I'll blow his mind with the teams I like.
It is kind of funny that you're kind of crossbreeding between Boston and New York. You know what I mean?
But the way I grew up, my dad and my uncles, they all had these teams. My grandfather was in the Marine Corps. Where he was stationed in Carolina. We became Tar Heel fans. Stationed in Virginia, became Redskin fans. In New York, became a Yankee fan. So I've kind of rolled with it. I'm a Miami Hurricanes college football fan. I know that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But when we were growing up, they were the badasses. They were the ones that everybody hated, and that's what made me love them. Is that everybody hated them. So yeah.
You like to be on the other end, Kev. You like to be on the other end, but then you got the Yankees and everything else. But
right.
So touching real quick back on hockey because I'm interested.
Sure.
Right now at this moment in time, who do you think the biggest challenge the Bruins are going to have in the Eastern Conference, and then and how many games are left? Like what's even going on in the hockey world?
That I have to check.
Okay.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. But I think there's two teams that could give the Bruins trouble. I think the Rangers can give the Bruins trouble. I think, getting Patrick Kane, and then they've got those young kids that they lucked out to draft.
Yeah.
That are I can never pronounce these guys' names. Lafreniere, I think is how to say it. He was the first pick a couple years back. Who's
the best player on the Oilers?
Oh, Connor McDavid is special, dude. He really is.
All right, there you go, Liskey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Connor McDavid is a whole different breed. He is so good. But I think to answer your question, the Rangers could give the Bruins some trouble. And I know Tampa lost some guys, but they still have most of that core together. Tampa is battle tested, and that's a team that really worries me.
They've been there before, right? I mean,
they've been there before. They've won titles before. They lost last year.
They were back to back, and then they lost last year for the three-peat.
They lost in the finals. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Billy Looper, big Tampa fan. So I always follow his post online when he's got his hockey post going. So.
Yeah. No, they're good. They're good.
Yep. Excellent. So what were we talking about before we just kind of did that little loop-de-loop there?
Yeah, so we talked a little baseball, and then we got into a little bit of hockey. We were talking about March Madness.
That's what we got to get into.
UConn, right?
Dude, UConn looks great right now. I mean, I loved UConn in the beginning of the year. They started off the year beating, Alabama, the number 1 overall. They beat Iowa State, and they ended up winning. I forget whatever tournament it was, but UConn was great in the beginning. Obviously, jumping in the Big East, it's a different story. Everybody knows everybody remarkably well.
Right.
And UConn, they definitely have been battle tested, and they're prepared for this tournament, obviously. Right.
And here's the thing. What we talked about before the tournament started is the whole issue with the point guard situation. That kid Hawkins, when he starts to get going, he could carry them. He had nothing in the first half last game, and then what did he put in? I saw him score 12 points quickly.
Yeah.
he can shoot the ball, and they need that because they have the size. We know that. We know Sanogo. We know Klingon comes in the game. They've got pretty good size. This matchup with Arkansas, if they can get through it, I really like their chances. I really, really do. But this is a really good, a strong Arkansas team with 2 freshmen in the backcourt that are studs. Nick Smith was the top recruit in the entire country. Had a knee injury.
6'5",
6'5", and he could do it all. And their point guard Black is 6'7".
Yeah, 6'7". Freshman, 6'7", 200-pound freshman.
He's a beast. And then up front,
freshman. That's like LeBron size.
He's built thin, but I mean his ability to get to the basket.
Not 260, but how big was LeBron when he came in the league? 220 pounds, maybe.
No, I think he wasn't. He was like 240. LeBron when he came into the league was the only player that from high school that I remember that was so physically ready to play. Like his body was. It's not what it is now, but his body was ready. I want to say he was 245 when he came in.
That much? Really?
Yeah.
No, that seems heavy to me, but maybe he was.
We can go back and look, but I think he was. I think his senior year, I think he was listed at 6'7", 230, 235 or something like that. So maybe I'm off, but his body was different. But again, these guards that Arkansas has, they're going to play tough. Their coach demands defense.
Yep.
They've got good rebounders. I think UConn obviously has the advantage inside.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the thing. Like they're going to defend UConn well, and they're not going to be afraid of them. If UConn hits 7 threes, they'll win the game.
You know what though? They need to feed the ball inside. I'm sorry, because they'll die by the 3. You can't do that in this tournament. Take your shot when you have your shot. And Hawkins has played okay in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like he needs to step it up more. And if he can step it up, it's a wrap. If he has
a good game, they'll win. If they get the whole game, if they shoot 6 or 7 threes, they'll win the game. They've got to make some outside shots because Arkansas does have some size up front. But this tournament's been wild, and I think that, you look at the teams that are in the tournament still, I think Miami looks real good. We talked about Miami.
Yeah.
And they're not overly big, but they've got like Amir 6'7", 250. Like that's a big dude. And Isaiah Wong was the ACC Player of the Year. He's a stud. Nigel Pack is the kid that they got from the portal that, everybody jokes around and says he was a great investment.
Yeah.
And he was. He could shoot the 3. But what do you think about the tournament with the teams left outside of UConn, outside of Miami?
I mean,
what do you see?
Obviously, I have Miami, right? We already know that I have Miami to win it all. I'm the only one in my pool. By the way, I did do a pool this year, and I'm not doing very good. I have 2 left out of 4. I lost Arizona. I had Purdue in the final. Purdue, Miami. Obviously, Miami's keeping me alive. The 4th team that I do have is a team we were just discussing, UConn Huskies. Love UConn. Let's go. If UConn and Miami play, I'm going to be scratching my head because Miami. Miami would be a nice little payout. But how about the Princeton Tigers, people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you not be excited about Princeton? A 15.
I think that every year they got that motion offense and they shoot and they can shoot. And when they're hot, you got to watch out.
And honestly, they have a pretty good shot. I think they have a pretty good shot.
Who are they playing this week? I haven't looked. I haven't looked at the brackets to see because everything got crazy.
Princeton is playing Creighton. That's going to be a tough game, actually. That's going to be a tough one. Creighton plays defense. Big East team, they challenge each other.
They're still in the tournament?
Creighton, yeah, bro. Yep, they knocked out Baylor. Last round. And who they played round 1? Who cares? NC State. No, they played NC State, and NC State was a respectable team in the ACC this year. Right?
NC State's back. I'm shocked at that because that backcourt NC State has is Joyner and them dudes. Smith and Joyner are studs. I'm shocked at that. At the end of the day, I'm like perplexed. I didn't even remember, with all the craziness. I didn't even remember Creighton was in the tournament.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
another team too, and that looked really good was Michigan State.
they did.
Michigan
They
State
did.
looked really good.
They do.
Watching Marquette play UConn in the semis or whatever it was for the Big East tournament. Yo, UConn and Marquette, that was a great game. I mean, it came down to the last the last shot. But Marquette's defense was really tough against UConn, and to see them play and hold down Marquette,
right?
And Marquette have a hard time slow down Michigan State. Yikes! Watch, I think Michigan State could be that sleeper. I mean, they're 7 seed. They're not really expected to go far.
I still think Alabama's the best team in the tournament. I really do.
You love Brandon Miller.
I do. Listen, the dude the other night, he didn't even have a good game. He didn't shoot the ball well. He still ended up. He just impacts the game on both ends so well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's I just don't see them losing. I really don't. But we'll see what happens. This is a wild tournament. These top seeds. I'm actually surprised Kansas lost when they did.
Ugh.
But without Bill Self, I thought he'd be back for the tournament. So I think that hurt them. But again, I love Alabama. Mm-hmm. I know, we both love Miami.
Yeah.
But I think UConn has a really, really good shot to cut down the nets.
I agree.
I really do.
I agree. Alabama's playing San Diego State, right? Have you watched how physical San Diego State is?
They really are. They're very physical. They're not afraid. That program actually deserves a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
We just don't think about them as a big time program.
I just every time I hear San Diego State, I think of one person.
Kawhi.
Nah, Marshall Faulk.
Really?
Is the first person that comes to mind when I think of San Diego State.
Yeah. Well, I think that, like, when you look at, I always, in terms of basketball, I think of Kawhi. And, I heard somebody say the other day, he wasn't highly recruited. I mean, he was a 4-star recruit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he was a scrub.
Not right.
And he's always been different. Like, he's always been different. And I think what the worst part is with him, and not to veer off, but just talking about Kawhi and San Diego State, the injuries and the games he's missed are taking away. People forget how good he is. And but yeah, San Diego State, Marshall Faulk, that was fun when he was there back in the day. But that's going to be an interesting matchup for sure, because they're not going to be afraid. They're not going to be afraid.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun to watch. It's always fun to watch some NCAA. All right, now, Kev, we got maybe 10, 15 minutes left. Let's talk a little NFL, man. I know.
Let's do it.
I know you've been paying attention. You're all over it.
Right.
There's some big names that are out there still. We have the draft coming up, which we're not going to touch on the draft yet, but I'm looking forward to your breakdown.
Yeah.
And your thoughts, where you think people are going to go, because you're usually very good with that. But beyond that, first and foremost, what's going on with Lamar Jackson, man? Like, how come nobody is going to give this guy it's like they're not even giving him a shot.
Dude, I don't know. I know he was banged up last year. And a lot of people think he could have come back in the playoff game and didn't come back. And that's fair. Fine. The year before, he got a little bit banged up too. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he had, really, besides Mark Andrews, they had injuries to the running backs 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then they traded Hollywood Brown. Like, what weapons does he have beyond the tight end? I think he put more pressure on himself, and he used his legs a lot more. You saw it this year with Josh Allen and taking all those hits. I don't understand, when you look at what it's going to take to trade for a quarterback under contract. You're seeing the Jets go through this right now with Aaron Rodgers, and he's 39 years old. I understand that people are skeptical for some reason of Lamar Jackson. I don't know that he's an elite quarterback, but he is a good enough quarterback where, if you don't have one, what are you doing? Like, it's 2 first-round picks. If you were to trade for him and he had a 10-year contract, do you know how many picks you're trading? You're trading firsts and seconds. Look at what the Bears got in trading that number 1 pick for a team that wants a quarterback They traded first round picks, second round picks, third round picks. Like I just don't understand. And then today there was a report, and again, you never know what to believe with all this stuff, but there was a report that he's not even asking for a fully guaranteed contract now, that he's over that. So I can't understand, what's going on. I think the Titans are a team that would be a really good fit, that would give up the 2 first-round picks to have him. I saw a breakdown of the odds, and your Patriots are on there. I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting. But
I mean, here's an article from the New York Post, stating that Patriots possibly in with Lamar.
That's crazy, and that would, when you think about
Liskey, this is probably the article. So Neil Liskey commented. So, and what up, Neil? Going back and seeing it, this was probably the article that he did read. But honestly, as a Patriots fan, I would actually love Lamar in New England. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I love Lamar in New England?
If you got Lamar Jackson, you gave up those 2 first-round picks, right? Mm-hmm. And then you traded, a couple of second-round picks, and because Hopkins is at the age right now with that contract, like, I think they just want to move on.
Yeah.
And I'm not trading first-round picks for a wide receiver. I'm just not, But anyway, I think that, like, if you did that with the roster that you have, I think that makes you a serious threat. I really do.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, the King.
I mean, I think that would be like, sir. And here's the other thing I want to present to you. Why are the Green Bay Packers not in on him?
Right. Well, that's because it's going to be we're going into Jordan Love territory now.
2 first-round picks it takes to get him, right? And then you sign him. If you trade Aaron Rodgers and get a first-round pick back, then you're really only trading a first-round pick.
Right.
Like, I don't understand that one. And Washington, my team, I still don't understand why they're not kicking the tires there. They want to build their team differently. They want a young quarterback that can manage the game, that's inexpensive. They want to spend money on their defense, but I just don't understand what's going on. The Patriots and Titans, I think, would be 2 interesting fits for him, though.
No, I agree to that. I would actually, I'd be good with that.
Where do you think he's going to go? Top of your head, where do you think he's going?
He's got, I mean, where would I like where would I like to see him?
Where do you think he's going to go?
I'll tell you where I would like to see him, and I've been saying is Miami, but I mean, I don't want to play against him, but I could see them winning a Super Bowl with him, right? If I had to GM that. Dude, I wouldn't mind seeing him in New England, to be honest with you, especially if they're going to grab D-Hop as well.
And then what are they going to do? They're going to trade Mac Jones?
I mean, he's still under a rookie contract.
So you're going to keep him in case Lamar gets banged up?
You have to. You have to do that. You have to do that. You know what I mean? Listen, Lamar's a game changer. He's a game changer. You have to scheme differently for him. And we're not going to ask you to throw 40-yard passes in New England. We're going to ask you to throw 7-yard dumps, dude. You know what I mean? Maybe open one up. But the thing that I also like with the signing of Mike Gesicki is that, Gesicki and Andrews, they could be similar. Gesicki could put up Andrews' numbers. He's a hell of a pass catching tight end. I love that move.
Big target. I love the move too. I'm actually surprised they only gave him a 1-year deal. Especially when they got rid of Jonnu. I get it. Didn't work out.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry gets hurt a lot, even though I think he'd be a solid number 2. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
They let him swing away, not to veer off. They let him swing away 3-0 with 2 outs and a man on first and second. I don't know about that.
They got Newt Clark, Condor, Ohtani coming up third in the order, by the way.
I like watching him. But, again, I think Gesicki, is going to be a real good player for the Patriots. And you're right. But if they did get DeAndre Hopkins, they'd throw the ball downfield a little bit more than usual. I think we can agree there.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you know what? He's older. He's not the flyer he once was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, but I think
I'd like to see him play like a Larry Fitzgerald role, I
like that. Yeah. And then Gesicki can go over the middle and he can go deep for a 6'6" target. I mean, I'm surprised. I think the draft is why most people have kind of, not overspent on the tight end position. I think you could get tight ends all throughout this draft. So I think that's interesting. I think that the Waller trade to the Giants is interesting, especially all these reports that he's a pain in the neck.
Oh,
I mean, that's not going to fly with Dayball. So that better
I
change.
thought he was I thought he was sober too, though. I know Darren Waller went through that whole, substance abuse, and then, he became sober. So,
Right.
What are you being a pain in the ass for? I don't know.
They were saying that he just disappeared and went home for weeks after he got hurt and didn't talk to anybody.
Oh, wow.
They reached out to him. Like it just. But again, we don't know if this is McDaniel saving face.
True.
Trying to make him look like a problem. And I think that Dayball's a perfect guy for a player that might be like that, because I think he demands a lot. It's kind of like when everybody was down on Randy Moss and he went to Belichick, kind of thing.
Right.
With that kind of personality, this is the way we're going to do it. You're the man, but don't screw us over, because that's it. But I think the Titans are going to be the team, if I had to guess, and has nothing to do with what I read today. The more I thought about it, it just makes sense. I think like you put him with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And some of the guys that they're obviously going to try to, retool the offensive line, but that would be a problem. I really do believe it'd be real interesting. Good luck with that, with those two guys coming downhill.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Good luck. Yep. But, and not to, veer off from Tennessee, but I'm just looking, imagine Devontae Parker, DeAndre Hopkins, and Juju.
Right.
That would be one of the best wide receiving cores we've probably ever had, to be honest with you.
And it's not like
not ever. I mean, we were great with never mind. That sounded retarded. But with Gronk, Edelman, Randy Moss, that one was pretty good.
I mean, you did have, Welker, and it's not like the Pats have had no receivers along the way. I think people,
we've had possession receivers like Welker and Edelman. Probably two of the greatest Patriots receivers ever. I mean, honestly, my opinion. Gronk, obviously Gronk as well.
No, but what you're pointing out,
a couple shines of Randy.
Right, but what you're pointing out is accurate. You got Gesicki, you got Juju, and so you got Juju can block a little bit. Devontae Parker's still a big body.
Yep.
Man, if you get DeAndre Hopkins, even if you don't get Lamar Jackson, that's all of a sudden now you're giving your young quarterback some options. And I think that kid needs options.
Buffalo Bills signed Damian Harris today, so that was a little bit of a loss.
Right, but I think they like the other back though.
Well, Ramondre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize we signed James Robinson either. I must have missed that one.
No, that wasn't. That kind of went under the radar with all the craziness. I think the Aaron Rodgers story just dominated so much. And that saga is not even close to being over, Ray.
What's going to happen with that anyway? What's your take on the whole Rodgers?
I know what his intentions are. He came out and said, I plan to play for the Jets. The only thing holding it up is the Packers and their compensation.
Yep.
They're going to make it hard. They're going to ask for first round picks. And for a quarterback that's 39, unless he gives you a commitment, and says, all right, if we give up 2 first round picks, I'm playing 2 years, then it would make no sense for the Jets, because if he only played 1 year, they're going to be looking for a quarterback again. They're not going to have a first round pick.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in trouble. So I don't know how that's going to play out. There's some people that I respect on TV that said they don't expect. There's one guy said he doesn't expect Aaron Rodgers to play for the Jets at all based on what's going on. And then, so what would happen then? Where is he going then? It's somebody's going to
retire. He's retiring. If you don't get signed, that's it. He's going to hang it up.
You're going to leave $50 million on the table,
dude. The guy, I don't know, man. It depends what his health. It depends what happened after his cleansing,
right?
With his whatever he did.
He wants to play, or he's going to retire 90%. Then he comes out and he's 100% in, and he wants to play for the Jets. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think he's been a joy to watch. As a human being, he's very complex.
Yeah.
And for a guy that kind of didn't want to go out like Brett Favre did, he's kind of pulling Brett Favre stuff the last couple of years, holding these teams hostage, Like the Jets are screwed if the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, they have to get in the Lamar Jackson thing, right?
I mean, 100%.
Like they have to.
Honestly, Lamar probably will end up in New York if they don't sign. If they don't
get Rodgers.
100%. Why wouldn't they?
Because again, it's what we talked about 2 minutes ago, Ray. You're giving up 2 first-round picks for a guy that's going to be there and give you 5, 6, 7 years, God willing. And you're looking at, just what are you going to do without one of those guys? It's got to be one of those. The Jets must be sitting there going, if the Rodgers stuff doesn't work out, I just don't understand why they don't go get Lamar now.
Right.
And then what happens?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Foul ball. By the way, Otani's up, runner on first, one out, bottom.
Yep.
Bottom five.
Bottom 5.
Let him go. Just make a move now. Go after him. Go after Lamar, New York. Don't sit on Aaron Rodgers. Don't do it.
And the money thing for the Jets, like right now, is the prime time to go give him a bunch of money, front load the contract, and then redo it when they have to pay Wilson and they have to pay Sauce, because they're going to have to pay them dudes, but they're still on rookie deals, man. Ground out. Otani grounded out.
Oh, good. I think I'm behind. Oh, yeah, I am. I lost a little bit of a signal there for a minute. Uh-oh. Am I spinning yet?
No.
Am I spinning on a Tuesday, late night Tuesday? Listen, Kev, I think it's been a pretty good episode. You have any final thoughts you want to throw out there before we wrap it up?
No, man. Listen, go UConn. The tournament this weekend. Hopefully the U.S. can come back. Hopefully we'll have some more answers with Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson next Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot to talk about because, we've got, it's a Sweet 16 and then everybody knows where we're going after this weekend. So that'll be interesting. We'll get some more draft stuff going because, we're getting into April, closer to April. So,
yeah.
We're gonna have some busy stuff to talk about. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, shout out to the UConn women basketball team too, by the way.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Please.
Did I read that correct? This is 30 consecutive Sweet 16s in a row for Gino.
Crazy.
Can you imagine that?
Crazy.
Like
it's and listen, I think this is his best coaching job he's ever done. The injury to Paige Beckers crippled them all year. If you don't know, people that don't know, she is really, really good. And that injury.
She's supposed to be really, really good. We need her on the court. She's been banged up her whole career.
She has.
At UConn anyway, right?
Right. And I hope that she has a season of health because she is awesome. And look, they had games at UConn this year where Gino had 6 and 7 scholarship girls to play. And he somehow managed to win 30. They beat Baylor 31 wins, bro. 31 wins with all that stuff going on, with all the injuries. It shout out to UConn's girls, man. They make me feel pride in this state, in a state that we really have nothing. So shout out to them.
Yeah, no, they've for like 30 years, for 3 decades of dominance.
Yeah, it really has been. Hopefully Coach Auriemma sticks around a little bit longer because I think that he's got to weather this South Carolina storm. Though, if you listen, I know girls basketball isn't the most popular sport. If you turn on the South Carolina girls, watch them for about 10 minutes. They play basketball the right way with the way they pass the ball. And that girl, Boston, the center, 6'5", she's awesome, bro.
Now that's Dawn Staley's team, right?
Oh yeah. She is a great coach. She's cool, dude. I saw her in a game this year wearing a basketball jersey on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like she's cool, dude.
Yeah, no, big fan of her.
Yeah. What do you got this weekend? What do you got going on?
Honestly, probably going to watch some golf match play this week. Hopefully, I'll get to watch a little bit of that. Obviously, definitely tuning in to all the basketball.
Yep.
It's March Madness. Hoping to see Miami pull off a win. Obviously, the UConn Huskies men and women's teams to pull off a win.
Yep.
And is Cinderella still going to ride for Princeton?
I hope so.
I mean, that's a cool. I think that's a cool story. But Thursday night, I have a fantasy baseball draft auction. And then Sunday, I have another fantasy baseball draft. That's a snake. So I haven't done a snake draft ever. First time doing baseball snake. If anybody has any strategies for that, please let me know. Auctions, I do enjoy, obviously, because you can get some players later very, very cheap. But yeah, no, that's it for me, man. That's it for this weekend. Looking forward to it. Baseball season's here.
Yep.
Football draft is coming quick. And it's madness, man, because it's March.
Yep.
So, Kev, I had a great time tonight, brother.
Yeah, it's always fun to talk to you, man. Talk sports with you, man. It was a fun night, and hopefully we can get the gang together next Tuesday.
Bang, bang. Let's do it.